Good morning. Good morning, all of you. देखते हैं who are present, because today we are going to start with the advanced accounting. So first of all, I would like to thank Vandana ma'am, ICI, Board of Studies, Seema ma'am, Asha ma'am, complete IT team, all Center Council members of ICI, Presidents Sir of ICI, and all other members who are directly or indirectly doing any effort or involved in providing these live training classes to the students of ICI, because when I was doing CA course about 20 years back or more than that, I was always fond of these things that ICI is providing offline classes at that time at ICI. So I have gone far from my city to New Delhi to get that training, to get that benefit. And obviously that has benefited a lot to me. And finally I got cleared in CA course at that time. So the same thing has happened with the students for many years, but they have to go from very far. They have to incur lakhs of expenses. But now it is really a good thing for all of you, my dear students. One thing is very important, that if you are interested to do something, you must have to do hard work in the life. But if some technology or anything make it easy to do that, then it will be really beneficial for us. So my dear students, it will be always helpful to make use of the technology, whatever technology is available with us. So ICI's efforts has benefited a lot to the members of ICI, to the students of ICI during the previous COVID period, because they have started these online systems, and this online system is giving us a big benefit. So let's take a benefit of it. Let's try to get good marks. Let's try to do hard work. And in group 2, you must have to think upon your clearance only and only through the subject which is named as advanced accounting, because advanced accounting is a subject which will provide you not less than 80 marks in your exams. If you will do some hard work, you will get 80 plus marks into your exams. And to make the total of 200, if you will get 80 marks in this course out of the advanced accounting subject only, obviously the remaining requirement is only 120. And that 120 marks can be obtained easily, because we have to secure 40 marks in each subject. And that 40 marks, if obtained in every subject, you may easily check it out that your total will become 200. And it can be cleared very easily. So beta, I would like to suggest you that you should have to do a great hard work. You should be very much serious in these exams, because once you will clear advanced accounting with flying colors, it will have an impact on other subjects also. So this is a subject which helps others also, just like a human being which has been made by the God for the purpose of giving help to others, not to help himself only. Because humanity meant for this thing that you should have to help others. Due to that reason, ICI is doing effort. Due to that reason, we all are teaching. Due to that reason, you all are studying, because after studying, you should have to let yourself be self-dependent and help the society, help your parents to live easily, to get benefit out of it. So beta, we should have to concentrate on this. Let's start with this subject. First of all, I would like to see how many are available now, because today is the first day. So I expect that if it is properly intimated, some may be available. Yes, very good, very good. So good morning to all of you. Good morning. It's Hitesh Jain, Annie Khan, Rahul Kuleria, Karthik, Atulya, Shivam, Vijay, Madili, Bandri, Bandradi, Karthik Gupta, Sudhanshu Pandey, Meman, Rafiq Bhai. It was my old remembrance that earlier you were also available in the previous batches. Neha, Khushi, Himanshu, Sonika, Anitha, Deepika Goyal, Etha, Aditi, Sharmila, Rahul, Kanupriya, Mekaila Bhavani. So, whomsoever are available, send your presence to me so that I can understand that how many are present beta. Fast अपनी अपनी attendance तो भेज दो एक बार ताकि पता लग जाए कौन कौन available है. Very good, very good. It's Vimal Kumar, very good. Good morning beta. Kaveri Kusum, very good, very good. Whomsoever are available, send your presence. That's really nice. Good to see all of you after so many days. Very good, very good. Send it to me so that I can start it with a good, energetic way. Very good. Whomsoever are available, send it. Basically, many students are available on app. So actually, ICI classes are live on ICI BOS app, Board of Studies app, ICI YouTube channel, CA Tube channel, ICI SSP portal. So students are available at various places. Here only YouTube students are shown in admin panel maybe. So don't worry. So, it's most students have sent their presence. Yes, very good, very good. Good morning, Shruti, Pooja, Rahul, Drashti, Yashaswi, Khushi, Hiral, Meghna, Soumya, Khushi, Shri Ram, Purnima, Somesh. Very good. Good morning. Good morning. Very good. Very good. Very good. Advanced accounting is a subject which is a second part of your accounting beta. Let's understand this thing that accounting is a very important part of our ICI system also, because in ICI also we can, in just a moment I would like to share my screen so that I can do each and everything. Yes. So yes, if we talk about accounting beta, what means for accounting is, in our commerce subject we always talk about this subject with very seriousness and very much importance, because this subject is a subject in which we always get benefit this way or that way. Yes. What is an accounting? Whenever we are talking about accounting, normally it comes to us in +1 commerce or in CA foundation, that the process of identifying, measuring, communicating and economic information to permit informed judgments and decisions by the users of accounts. So the definition of accounting is very simple and sober, that the process of identifying. Whenever we are trying to identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information to permit informed judgments and decisions by the users of accounts. To permit informed judgments and decisions by the users of accounts. This meant for accounting. This definition is given by the American Association of Accountants in 1966 and has been assumed as the best definition till date. In this, we always understand that the process of identifying means we are identifying that this transaction meant for accounting, because the emotional transactions are not the part of accounting. So we are always trying to identify those transactions only which are the part of accounting. Means it is a transaction or an event which can be measured in terms of money. So measuring is a very important part. It can be measured in terms of money. Either the measurement system is your measurement by way of you may say currency of India or by USA or by any currency. So it can be measured. And finally, whatever we are doing, that is for the purpose of communicating it to the users of accounts, because whatever we are doing in accounting, that is for the purpose of giving an information to the users of account. Who are the users of account? That is understood to us in plus one, also in BCom, also in CA Foundation, also that there are two types of users. One are internal users and second one are external users, beta. So these are two types of users of accounts. Whenever we are talking about internal users, meant for those persons which are the part of organization, which are working in the organization, which include managers, directors, or senior employees, management, like that, partners, provider, means finally owners or the senior one, those who have to take decisions for the management, for the working of the company. And the second one is are the external users. What meant for the external users? Those which are basically using the data of company for the purpose of their decision making to remain with the company or not to remain with the company. Those are the those who are providing finance to the company. You may say these are the loan providers to the company, means bankers or other, and then those which are the shareholders of the company, means which are obviously purchasing shares of the company, and such like other persons, means customers, the creditors or suppliers, or such like other person whomsoever have to take decisions whether they have to remain with the company, they have to work with the company or not. So these are the users of accounts. So they have to take judgments, they have to take decisions whether they have to remain with the company or not, how the company will proceed in further in its future. So all that they have to judge, they have to decide. So whatever they have to judge or decide, for that they need economic information, because other information is not useful for them. Their basic requirement is economic information, which can be measured in terms of meaning. Means we are calling it an economic means for arthic information. Arthic means which relates to money or money's worth. So they have been communicated this information. So accounting is not a very small thing which we are calling it as a accounting means for कि accounting का मतलब क्या होता है. हम लोग जब बात करते हैं तो हम कहते हैं कि भैया रिकॉर्ड करना ट्रांजैक्शंस को और बैलेंस शीट बना देना. ऐसा नहीं होता. अकाउंटिंग का मतलब बहुत वास्ट है, बहुत डिटेल्ड मीनिंग है बेटा. लेट इट बी वेरी मच क्लियर. अकाउंटिंग का जो कंसेप्ट है वो इस डेफिनेशन में इसीलिए माना गया कि कवर होता है बिकॉज इस डेफिनेशन में इसको आइडेंटिफाइंग से लेकर मींस अकाउंटिंग के रूट से लेकर अकाउंटिंग की फाइनली जो यूटिलिटी है, जो यूजेबिलिटी है, वहां तक लेके जाया गया. बिकॉज अकाउंटिंग जो यूटिलिटी है वो उसके यूजर्स हैं, वो यूज करते हैं. तो इसलिए इसमें कहा गया कि अकाउंटिंग का मतलब क्या होता है. अकाउंटिंग मीन्स फॉर जो भी हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं, जो भी हम लोग वर्किंग कर रहे हैं, जो भी हम लोग किसी भी तरह की कोई ट्रांजेक्शन कर रहे हैं बिजनेस में, कोई भी काम कर रहे हैं, वो सभी को पहचानना, पहचान के उसको मनी फॉर्म में मेजर कर लेना, मनी फॉर्म में मेजर करके उसको कम्युनिकेट कर देना. उसकी जो इकोनॉमिक इंफॉर्मेशन है उसको कहाँ कम्युनिकेट करना है, उसके यूजर्स तक. तो ये सब कुछ अकाउंटिंग का पार्ट है बेटा. दिस ऑल इज द पार्ट ऑफ अकाउंटिंग. अब अकाउंटिंग में व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इन अकाउंटिंग, वी आर गोइंग फॉर always various types of concepts that how accounting runs. So base of accounting is basically it is based on what it is based on its concepts, because every work is always based on some concepts. So you must have to know the concepts. There are gaps, general accounting principles जो हमारे होते हैं. Then generally accepted accounting principle, but we are calling. Then there are accounting standards. Then there are principles of accounting. क्या नहीं दिखाई? Okay, sorry. वो मैंने. Okay. Is that okay? Let me check it out once again. Just a moment. So, but whenever we are talking about base of accounting, there are concepts, principle, gaps, and accounting standard, which are the root of accounting, which are the base of accounting on which accounting runs. So, due to that reason, we must have to know these concepts, these basics. These basics are covered by us in CA Foundation, where we are covering concepts, principles, etc. And then in CA Inter, we are covering gaps, accounting standards. We have started covering our accounting standards, but accounting standards are too much because the number of accounting standards are sufficient. So that has been divided into two parts. Some accounting standards are covered in your group 1 and some are covered in group 2 beta. So there are two groups as we know. So accordingly, these are divided into two groups, group 1 and group 2. In group 1, we have covered a lot. We have understood a lot. I assume that you are good in accounting standards at that time. In the same way, we have to cover accounting standards in group 2 also. In group 2, whatever accounting standards are there, that we have to cover in such a way so that we can get good marks. Let's understand what is the weightage of your accounting standards in group 2, because today we are going to start with accounting. So we must have to understand this thing also, that what is the weightage of our subject, what is the weightage of our topics. So I would like to cover that also in advanced accounting beta. Advanced accounting, the name of paper 5 of group 2. What is the weightage of accounting standards in it? I would like to tell you. First of all, you should have to understand what is the pattern of your exam. The pattern of exam is similar as was in accounting in paper 1. It was of 100 marks, in which you will get 6 questions, and these 6 questions are in the way 20 marks each. इसमें थोड़ा सा मैं आपको एडिटिंग कर देता हूँ because yes, 6 questions. Yes, you will get 6 questions, and the way that is allocated according to the ICA pattern, whatever the pattern they decide. Normally, we get question number 1 of 20 marks. This is a trend, and then there are 5 more questions. Question number 2 to 6. So these are of 16 marks each. Normally, this is a trend. Remaining all, it may vary according to the ICA requirement also. 16 marks each. So in our exams, what we will get? Normally, I have seen even in the last exam, which has been I have seen your last exam of your CA Intergroup 2, paper 5. I have seen that question number 1 includes 4 questions of 5 marks each, and these questions are from accounting standards. And then I have checked question number 6. In that also I have seen that it includes approximately 10 marks question from accounting standards only. This trend is applicable to maximum exams. I'm not saying in each and every exam, but in maximum exams I have seen, I have checked your approximately 6 or 7 last exams. and even it was at my time also when I was doing CA, it was the same trend that we are getting approximately 30 marks paper from this accounting standards only. So 30 marks meant for a basic of clearance of CA intergroup 2 paper 5 of advanced accounting, because we need only 40 marks, but our target is very much clear beta that we have not to get 40 marks, we have to get minimum 80 marks. So if we have to get 80 marks, obviously you should have to get 30 marks from accounting standards only. Once you will do accounting standard in a good way, you will be you can easily get 30 marks from this paper only, this part only, and the remaining part is obviously we can do it very seriously and we can get good marks in that also. But let's understand this thing that these are very important. These are very, very important beta. You must have to keep it into your mind that we have to do it very seriously. So let's start with this because we have to cover it in a good way. Volume is okay to everyone? Please get confirmed to me, because वॉल्यूम बेटा वॉल्यूम ओके है मेरा, किसी को कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं है वॉल्यूम में? वॉल्यूम बेटा एनीवन में रिप्लाई? गुड. Volume is okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Very good. Yes, sir. Volume is okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. So let's start with this beta. AS4. But before that, I would like to cover some लॉजिकल थिंग्स, बिकॉज चैप्टर पे स्टार्ट होना जरूरी नहीं होता, पहले लॉजिक समझना जरूरी होता है. तो इसीलिए बिकॉज व्हाट इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ आईसीआई एग्जाम्स कंसेप्ट इज वेरी सिंपल. यू शुड हैव अ conceptual understanding of each and everything. Once you have a conceptual understanding of each and everything, you can clear it very easily. You may see that the result of ICAI exams are not too much good, because we normally expect that the exams result is not good, it is not in our favor. But let's understand this thing. I'm teaching to hundreds of students, so I have seen that those students normally clear with flying cover who are doing it with conceptual understanding, with hard working, and with giving importance to the CA as their life. So let's try to understand this thing, that we have to do everything with concepts. Without concept, there is nothing. So practical implications are very much important. So let's understand the chapter's overview. In the chapter, this overview of accounting standards, you have there are 13 AS which we have to cover. Beta. AS 4, 5, 7, 9, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, 26, and 29. So from where I'll cover from various places, but you should have the ICAI module also. This is available in, if you will see, this is available in ICAI website also, ICAI BOS portal. If anyone have any problem, I will like to tell you where it is available. So having any requirement to anyone? I assume that everyone knows from where you can get it. So I have downloaded it from your ICAI BOS module. This is the one thing. Second thing, I have downloaded quick revision that we will also discuss later on. Starting with this, there are 13 years which we have to cover. Here one more thing is there. They have written here that you may also refer the bare text of the accounting standard, but that can be covered later on. That can be think later on. But before that, you should have to understand the concept of this accounting standard that we can cover it from here. Because for exams, you have to understand the conceptual understanding. If you read the AS but you doesn't know the concept of AS, you are unable to solve the questions of AS, because AS questions are not of that sense that what meant for provisions, what meant for intangible assets, what meant for contingent liabilities, what meant for accounting for taxes. This type of question normally doesn't come into your exam. In your exam, we will get case studies. Let it be very much clear. They will give you a case study. We have to answer accordingly. So, beta, case study can be solved only and only if you have understood the concept. So let's do it practically with logical understanding. I'm not going to read it for you. I'm going to give it a conceptual importance. Let's discuss the conceptual importance of each and every chapter. So here, first of all, it has been mentioned what it means for. What is an accounting standard is. It has been very much defined in our CA Foundation also, Group 1 also, that these are the written policy documents issued by expert accounting body or by government or other regulatory body covering the aspect of recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure of accounting transaction in the financial statements. What it means for it's very simple, that whenever we have to prepare the financial statements, whatever is to be recognized in it, that is the most important part. So these are the things which are to be remembered by you, that whenever we are talking about accounting standards, you must have to give importance to recognition, you have to give importance to measurement, you have to give importance to presentation and disclosure. So these are the four things: recognition, note it down beta, recognition, measurement, presentation and disclosure. What means for recognition? Recognition means for that we have to recognize it or not. If we'll recognize it only, then we will measure it, we will present it, we will disclose it. Recognition is the first step. किसी चीज को recognize कर लेना मतलब उसको मान लेना. We have agreed with it that it is there. It is there is recognition. If we have not assumed that this thing is not available, not in the world, then it means for we haven't recognized it. Recognition means for we have given it a recognition. हमने उसको एक पहचान दे दी, हमने उसको मान लिया. If we have recognized something, only then we will measure in terms of money, and then we have to present it. Where it is to be presented, that is our requirement, that is our understanding, that is the concept which has been discussed, which has been understood by us. And then disclosure. So these are the four words beta. Let's note it down. Recognition, we have recognized anything, then we have to measure it, then we have to present it, that is its presentation is accountable, then disclosure. So these are the four things which we have to keep into our mind. Regarding an accounting standard, these four things are to be applicable in our financial statements. Means while preparing financial statements, an item is to be recognized or not, that is to be decided first. Then if it is to be recognized, if it is not to be recognized, the point comes to an end, the picture is closed, the picture is ended. But if it is to be recognized, then second step is it is to be measured in terms of money. What is the value of it, what is the measurement of it that we have to do. And then third thing is it is to be presented. The way it discloses itself, it proves itself, that is the way we have to present it. And the fourth system is disclosure, means we have to disclose it only in our financial statement. Disclosure is just to intimate other, just to intimate, just to share the information, means an information is with me that I have a contract of rupees 50 crores. I have a contract of 50 crores with me. That is an information. I would like to share it with others So I have shared it. I have disclosed it. I will disclose it means I will write it in our director's report, in our auditor's report, like that. That is the disclosure. किसी को कोई information को दे देना, बता देना, लेकिन उसका impact नहीं डाला हमने. उसका impact ना डालना मतलब उसको प्लस माइनस ना करना, उसको कहीं पर बैलेंस शीट में वैसे कहीं शो नहीं किया आपने, बट जस्ट उसको एक नोट डाउन करके लिख दिया कहीं पर. वो डायरेक्टर्स रिपोर्ट होती है या फिर ऑडिटर्स रिपोर्ट्स होती हैं या मैनेजमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन होती हैं. अगर आप इसके लिए जानना चाहते हो, यू शुड हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द concept of concept of your financial statements. In our financial statement, what is with us? In our financial statement, there are many things. If you see the practical concept of financial statements, it includes trading and P&L account. Obviously, it may be manufacturing also, as per the case. Balance sheet, annexures, which are the part of which are just like working notes, whatever we are preparing while studying in our classes. These are the working notes which are named as annexures. Those who have already gone to training have seen these things. Those who haven't started their training with the chartered accountants doesn't know this. So annexures are there. Then after annexures we have director's report is with us. Director's report, in case of corporate it is there. Then auditor's reports, tax audit report, what we are calling. This tax audit report includes all these things, basically trading and P&L, balance sheet, annexures. Even we can call it the tax audit report include all these things. So these are the identifications, or these are the ways we are presenting it. But I am just writing it for your knowledge, because this is a vast aspect. I am just giving you an identification so that you can understand it. Management notes. So these are the many things. Even it includes many more things. I am just giving you a hint. So disclosure is to be given normally in director's report. In director's report, we are. Yes, sir. Akesh, I couldn't understand what type of link you need. Better, please share the link, sir. Okay. But where is the where these notes are? I would like to write it here. You will have to go into ICA website, ica.org. In that website, you will have to go to BOS, Board of Studies portal. There you will get a link. It may be in student section, maybe. Yes, it is in student section. In that you will get BOS. In that you will have to go into. I would like to show it. That's more better according to my opinion. Yes, I would like to show it. Just a moment. Anyone is suffering from this problem, I would like to help him first, because if you haven't notes, you can't do it in a serious way. Sorry. So you have to go into ICA website. Okay, beta. In ICA website, you have to go student section. In that, BOS knowledge portal is there. In that BOS knowledge portal, click here to visit BOS knowledge portal. Yes. So this is the complete. You may say everything is available here. Yes. Study material, intermediate, advanced accounting, click here. Study material applicable for May 2022 examination onwards. In that, application of accounting standards is there. So this is all about. Is that clear, beta? So I think everyone understood where it is. Many more things are there. I already discussed, Surya. Basically, I would like to discuss only those things which are important for study point of view. So, four things are important. Speak it out with me. One is recognition, second is measurement, third one is presentation, fourth one is disclosure of accounting transaction in the financial statements. The aim is very much clear, to improve the quality of financial reporting, because earlier the reporting was not in the interest of the users. So to improve the quality of our financial reporting, this all has been done. It will help into consistency and transferability, comparability, and it will give benefit to the users. So it will be obviously benefit for everyone. Now we will start with AS4. The chapter's name is Overview of Accounting Standard. In that, AS4 is there because we have to cover 13 AS beta. So first AS is AS4, contingencies and events occurring after the balance sheet date. The name is very much simple and clear. Contingencies and events occurring after the balance sheet date. With the word contingency, I have a link with you. I have a link with you in CA Foundation. If you see CA Foundation chapter number 2, unit number 7, maybe it was contingencies. Remaining, you may better tell me, because I have seen that book about 4 or 5 months back. Maybe it was in chapter number 2. It is confirmed to me, and there is a complete chapter named contingencies. In that you have understood what means for contingencies, provisions, etc. So that will give impact here also. We will cover that from that logic also, so that you can understand it in a better way. So let's understand each and everything is with a logic. But before that, I would like to get it confirmed from you. What means for contingencies? Tell me your understanding. Contingency का meaning क्या होता है? आप लोग मुझे लिख के भेजो fast. I would like to see your understanding. Then I'll start fast. What means for contingency is? Yes बेटा, start. देखो, पढ़ाई का मजा तभी आएगा अगर टू वे कम्युनिकेशन चलेगा, अगर टू वे स्टडी रहेगी. अगर मैं अकेला पढ़ाता रहूंगा, बोलता रहूंगा और आप लोग सिर्फ सुनते रहोगे, देन यू विल बी इन ए स्लीप मोड. बिकॉज स्लीपिंग इज वेरी गुड व्हेन यू आर डूइंग अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स. नींद बड़ी अच्छी आती है अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड में. समथिंग अनसर्टेन, वेरी गुड. व्हाट्स योर एग्जैक्ट नेम? Benredi? Benredi, whether I am pronouncing it correctly, na? Benredi. Something uncertain is called contingency. Hitesh Jain says contingency means an unforeseen liability or happening. Also, we can say there's no problem. Good. Kanupriya, contingency which may occur or not, it is uncertain. Very good. Event that might arise in future. Event of happening or not happening. Very good. Kehani. Very good. Shriram, Pooja, Atulya. Very good. Akashnil, Sonia, everyone. I'm really enlightened with you. I'm really thankful to all of you that you are all giving me a very good response, and this response will be benefited to you in long run. I would like to say you very clearly. Beta, I would like to cover in the way accounting standard is to be covered. Okay. So I understood that you all know what means for the contingency to some extent, but we have to cover it according to our accounting standard concept. But your understanding is very good. I would like to give a compliment to all of you. So let's start with this. What meant for the AS4? AS4 has been revised also. Earlier AS4 has been issued and it have a wide scope. Later on its scope has been reduced and it has been revised. So the word revised is used with it. What meant for the revised is, always understand this thing, because whenever the word revised is there, it means for this accounting standard is changed later on. Its scope has been changed. So this is also very important. Whenever you are using accounting standard, you must have to write it. This is AS4 revised, and those which are not yet revised, it means for once it was issued, it remained intact. It has not been revised. Revised means it has been taken back, changed once again, and then reissued. So that means for revised. minor changes are not a problem. I would like to ask one more query from you, whether whatever is written in accounting standard is final. If there is any contradiction between Punjab government's law and whatever is mentioned in accounting standard, which will be applicable, which will be more important, which will be assumed as to be followed, which is to be followed, whether we have to follow Punjab government's law. If I am in Punjab, then whether I have to follow Punjab government's law or I have to follow accounting standard. What is more important? Tell me. Your comments are required. Waiting for your comments going forward. So it deals with contingency. That deals with contingencies are applicable only to the extent not covered by other accounting standards. Means one more thing is very much important now. If any contingency is covered by other accounting standard, then that will not be covered here. Means this is a remaining ES. You may say अगर कुछ भी हमारा किसी और ES में कवर हो जाता है जो कंटिजेंसी से रिलेटेड है, बट वो किसी और ES में कवर हो जाता है, प्रिस्क्राइब्ड ES है, मान लो कोई ES है वो अमेलगमेशन की बात कर रहा है, ES 14 है जैसे, उसमें अगर कंटिजेंसी के रिगार्डिंग कुछ भी लिखा हुआ है तो वो ओवरकम कर जाएगा किसको? ES 4 को. फिर ES 4 को हम एप्लीकेबल नहीं मानेंगे उस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट के लिए. लॉ, गवर्नमेंट लॉ, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड आर टू बी फॉलोड. ये मुझे कनुप्रिया का आंसर आया है, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड इज टू बी फॉलोड. बेंट्रेडी का भी आंसर आया है, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड इज टू बी फॉलोड. मुझे कई बच्चों ने ये लिख के भेजा है जिसके लिए मैं बहुत अच्छा तो नहीं फील कर रहा. एक्चुअली दिस हैज टू बी अंडरस्टूड टू यू इन सीए फाउंडेशन, बिकॉज बेटा इन सीए फाउंडेशन it is very much clear to every student that accounting standards does not override statutory. This is a one word which is very important, one line we can say. What means for the statutory is beta, statutory means any law of land. What means for law of land? Law of land means for any law. Either it is the law of, you may say, state government, either it is the law of central government. हमें अच्छा लगता है ये कहना कि अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड ओवरटेक नहीं कर सकता कोई और, बट ऐसा नहीं है. अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड को कोई भी लॉ ओवरटेक कर सकता है बेटा. अगर आपका कोई लॉ और अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड में कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन आ जाती है, आपको लगता है ये बात लॉ में कुछ और है, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड में कुछ और है, तो आपको अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड को फॉलो नहीं करना, आपको लॉ ऑफ लैंड को फॉलो करना है. मींस उस पर्टिकुलर जगह पे जो लॉ लग रहा है. इवन आई वुड लाइक टू से म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन और इवन इन पंचायत, because these are the normal laws, normal bodies which are known to everyone. But if anybody or any other government body, मैंने इसीलिए एग्जांपल ली थी so that I can understand what is your understanding in this point. Your understanding is good for some purpose, some person, but not everyone. So those who are not right, you must have to keep it into your mind that the Punjab government law will be applicable in case of there is a contradiction between accounting standard and Punjab government law. If I am in Punjab, if I am in Delhi, then obviously their accounting standard may be applicable. If there is a contradiction between Punjab government law and accounting standards, and I am living in Punjab, then obviously on me Punjab government's law will be applicable. But if I am in Delhi and there is no contradiction between Delhi law and accounting standards, then there is no problem at all. I have not to check it at other places. Law of land is important, means wherever I am, जहां पर भी मैं रिपोर्टिंग कर रहा हूं, wherever I am reporting, law of land is applicable. Even Delhi municipal corporation law, if contradictory with accounting standard, then you have to apply municipal corporations law. Whatever they have made, whatever they have decided, that you have to follow. Means it cannot override any statute. स्टैट्यूटरी मीन्स किसी भी तरह का कोई भी जो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से लॉ बनाया गया उसको ओवरराइड नहीं कर सकता। लेट इट बी वेरी मच क्लियर बेटा। पंजाब गवर्नमेंट लॉ counties and are to be followed, we have to follow common. Exactly, so I think this is very much clear, not wasting too much time on it. Then one more thing is there, the impairment of financial assets such as impairment of receivable. What means for the word impairment now? It is a problem for us that we doesn't know the word impairment. Impairment stands for changes in the value due to any particular reason which is impacting its value. If any financial asset is there and the value of financial asset is changing due to any reason, valuation की बात करते हैं ना, whenever we are talking about valuation of our asset is changed due to the reason of any particular loss in it, not due to the reason of payments or receipts. If I have debtors with me and the value of debtors is changed due to the reason of an expectation of happening of any bad debts, we assume that there are a chance of bad debts of rupees 50,000 on it. That means for impairment of our debtors, impairment of our receivable is governed by this standard. This standard is most useful in case of impairment of or changes of in the value of our debtors. Means provision for bad and doubtful debt is most important in this case. Treatment and disclosure requirements of events occurring after the balance sheet date. Okay, so contingencies and events occurring after the balance sheet date is covered in this. Now, contingency का meaning आप लोगों ने मुझे बताया था. I think that is good from your side. Let's understand this thing. What is a contingency? It is a condition or situation, the ultimate outcome of which gain or loss will be known or determined only on the occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more uncertain future events. Let's understanding it in words. First of all, what means for future events? Beta, those events which has not yet occurred, which may or may not occur in future. Any event which may occur in future is called a future event, which has not yet occurred. It may occur in future. Now, its certainty is not confirmed. If I am saying uncertain, uncertain means which is not yet certain, which is not yet confirmed, and it depends on its certainty is depending upon occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more uncertain future events. Means it's a condition or situation. कोई भी condition या situation, कोई भी we can say that if we are talking about contingency means anything, any condition or situation, the ultimate outcome means whose result, ultimate outcome means the result. We can say the result. It's a result of which gain or loss. It's a result which may be gain or loss, which may be profitable to us or which may be not profitable to us, will be known or determined only, which will be confirmed only and only, and it will be depending upon occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more uncertain future events. Now let's understand this thing, taking an example, and the example is very simple. A person, a creditor is there to whom I have supplied goods. So I have supplied goods worth rupees 10 lakh to him. Now this person to whom goods are supplied by me has made payment to me. He has paid rupees 10 lakh to me. Later on, he says that these goods are not of that quality. Payment has been received to me. Sorry, this is the creditor, not this should be a debtor. I'm going to change the example once again. I have supplied goods to someone. I have supplied goods to Mahesh worth rupees 10 lakhs, and payment is received rupees 10 lakhs. Now later on, Mahesh approached me and tell me your goods are not of that quality, whatever I have demanded, because at that time when I have made the payment, I'm unable to check the quality. But later on, when I have used those goods are not of that quality, whatever you have committed with me. So he has claimed rupees 4 lakh from me for that change in quality. He has sued me in court. Now, I'm not interested to pay him rupees 4 lakh. I completely denied him. He has sued me in the court. Now, this 4 lakh is to be payable only and only if you win the case. Win the case. So this is what it is. I have read it for you. This is the occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more uncertain future events. So what is uncertainty? Uncertainty is winning the case. This is uncertainty. Whether he will win the case or not, this is not clear. I have to pay this 4 lakh only and only if the outcome of this case is winning the case by Mr. Mahesh. If he will lose the case, I need not to pay that rupees 4 lakh. So the outcome of this case will be a loss to me if he will win the case. If he will lose the case, then I have to pay nothing to him. So there is no loss to me. Obviously, I can say no loss to me. So what is the uncertainty in it? The uncertainty of occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more uncertain future event. Uncertain future event is what? That case. If you will win the case, obviously I have to pay. If you will not win the case, I will not have to pay. So this is a simple and sober example of your contingency beta. Is that clear? Is that clear, beta? Tell me. Any doubt? You may note it down, beta. साथ के साथ एग्जांपल्स को नोट डाउन करते जाओ, आपको फायदा रहेगा. एक्चुअली क्या रहता है कि थ्योरी को याद करना बड़ा मुश्किल रहता है, बट अगर उसका कंसेप्ट समझ लग जाए तो थ्योरी बड़ी जल्दी याद हो जाती है. तो हमें तो इसको इसी तरह से चलना है कि हमें ये याद हो जाए, कोई प्रॉब्लम ना रहे. Good. Now, what is the accounting treatment if loss has been occurred, and what will be the accounting treatment if profit has been occurred? Because contingency may result into profit or loss to us. So, what will be the result of that? That must be known to everyone. So, what is the accounting treatment? Now, accounting treatment of contingency loss. If loss has been occurred, we expect that because loss is not yet occurred. Due to that reason it is named as contingency beta. Contingent का मतलब क्या है? Which may or may not happen, or which is not yet happened. अभी तो हुआ ही नहीं ना. अगर अभी तक हो जाता तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. It has not been happened yet. So what will be the accounting treatment of a contingency loss? Let's understand this. The accounting treatment of a contingency loss is determined by the expected outcome of the contingency. It is based on the expectation that whether it will happen or not. If it is likely that it may happen, if we think that it may happen, then the prudence concept will be applicable. What means for the prudence concept? Tell me. I would like to explain it in one line. Please tell me. I would like to get it from you. What means for prudence concept? Send me the answer, beta, fast. What is prudence? I may also name it as conservatism approach, conservatism concept. Conservatism and prudence are one and the same thing. Because whenever you will give the answer, you will understand the concept. If you will not give the answer, beta, you can't understand the concept. Fast, yes. Provide for all probable losses, possible losses. Record anticipate loss, deny the profit. Yeah, I have got very good answers. I would like to write it for you, beta. What is prudence concept? Write it down with you. Prudence. Prudence or conservatism. One and the same thing. This means to do not anticipate gains. Provide for probable losses. So I would like to define it in 2 lines. And this is the exact meaning of it. Do not anticipate gains means if we are expecting that any gain which may occur in future, but it is not yet confirmed. Any gain which may occur in future, but not yet confirmed. Not yet confirmed. That is called anticipated gain. So such gain is not to be entered in books. Means these are not to be recognized. These are not to be and you may say yes, not to be entered in books. That is not to be entered in books means that is not to be adjusted in books. It is not to be treated as income. This gain is not to be treated as income. But if we are expecting any probable loss means any loss which may occur in future, then provision is to be created for the expected outcome. Means if we haven't any loss, if any loss has not yet occurred, but we are expecting it in future. One thing is there, it may occur in future. And the second thing is we are expecting that it may occur. It is not yet confirmed. Even it is not yet confirmed. Not just like gain, it is not yet confirmed. But we are expecting that it may occur. In this case, if we are expecting, even then there is no chance of adjusting it into the books of accounts. No provision is to be created for the income which we may earn in future. But here, if we are expecting any loss, then we may create a provision, or then we have to create a provision for it. We must have to create a provision for it. Whatever loss we are expecting, we must have to create a provision for it. This meant for prudence concept. Very good. I got very good answers from your side. Thank you very much, beta. Very good. So here I have discussed with you regarding gains and losses which are not yet occurred, which may or may not occur. So let's understand this with an example. ABC has filed a case against a debtor for a recovery of 25 lakh rupees. Now, we have filed a case. According to legal terms, team, the chances of recovery is nil. So if chances of recovery is nil, there is no chance of entering it into the books of accounts. ABC should make provision for doubtful debt or not. ABC has filed a case against a debtor for a recovery of 25 lakh. Means a debtor to whom, from whom we have to recover rupees 25 lakhs. Obviously, it is due to him. Yeah, it is due from him. We have to get it from him. Obviously, we have sold some goods to him or something like that, and he become our debtor for rupees 25 lakh. He is not making payment to us. We have claimed him in the court. Now, when we have claimed him in the court, there is no chance of recovery even. So, whether we have to create a provision for it or not. So, first of all, we have to understand whether it is our loss or profit. If it happen, whether it will be our profit or loss. So, he is our debtor. If a person is our debtor, obviously debtor is our asset. So if an asset worth rupees 25 lakh is going to become nil, it means for we are going to suffer a loss of rupees 25 lakh. If in case I am going to suffer a loss of rupees 25 lakh, this is a loss to me. So I have already discussed with you that do not anticipate gain, but if I have a loss which we are expecting, which may occur in future, then provision is to be created for the same. That loss is to be entered in the books by way of provision. So what is the journal entry for provision? What means for the provisions, how provision is to be created? So provisioning is to be created by way of profit or loss account debit to provision for doubtful debts. So profit or loss account is to be debited and provision for doubtful debt is to be credited. It will go into liability side against our asset, because our asset is in our asset side, debtors are in our asset side. It will be appearing in our liability side, in our credit side, and it will also be debited in the profit or loss account as a loss. So in profit or loss account, it will be debited. In liability side, it will be credited. So the estimate of the amount of a contingent loss is to be provided for in the financial statement based on the judgment made by the management. If there is a conflict or insufficient evidence for estimating of amount, that we will discuss obviously. So if we have an estimate that how much loss may occur, then we must have to write it off in our books of accounts by way of a provision. He says, if insufficient evidence for estimating the amount of a contingent loss, then disclosure is made of the existence and nature of the contingent. If we are unable to estimate the amount of loss, means we think that we may lose the case, but I will get some amount. I'm not sure that I will get 25 lakh, but I may get 10 lakh or 15 lakh out of it or 12 lakh out of it, but I'm not able to estimate it. So he's saying the estimation of the amount of a contingent loss is to be provided for in the financial statement. If I'm expecting that I will lose completely rupees 25 lakh, then I will provide provision of 25 lakh. If I'm expecting that the loss will occur for 10 lakhs because I will recover 15 lakh, then obviously I will show if I'm expecting a loss of 10 lakh only, then I will provide for only 10 lakh. If I'm expecting a loss of 15 lakh, then I will provide for 15 lakh. But in case, next point is there, in case we are unable to estimate that how much loss will occur, because we have sued him in the court, but it is not yet confirmed that how much payment we will get. We may get 2 lakh even, we may get 10 lakh, we may get 25 lakhs. So this is not yet confirmed. What we have to do in that case? In that case, we are unable to create any provision because we are not able to estimate that how much loss may occur in future. Even I am expecting that the complete amount will be recovered. I am expecting it may be a chance that I will recover rupees 20 lakh, 5 lakh in full. And there may be a chance that I may recover only 15 lakh or 18 lakh. This is not yet confirmed. I am unable to check it out. I am unable to decide it. So in that case, what we have to do means we are covering two aspects. Let's understand this. Contingents, you may note it down. I'm going to write it for you. Contingent loss. Divided in two parts. Loss is certain. Certain means loss is estimated. Loss can be estimated. Then provision is to be created. To be created for that. Loss cannot be estimated. What we have to do? Only disclosure is to be given. Disclosure is to be given in financial statements. We have to disclose it in financial statement, but we need not to provide for any provision because we are unable to estimate it. If we are unable to estimate, beta, what we have to do? Disclose it only. If we are able to estimate, provide for. By passing a journal entry, which I have discussed with you, profit or loss account debit to provision for doubtful debts. Is that clear to everyone? Is that clear to everyone? Sir, so Aditi is asking, sir, so contingencies will be provided in two cases. Contingencies will be provided. We will discuss brief discussions or you may say summarized way में तो हम लोग बाद में बात करेंगे. अभी मैं ये बात कर रहा हूँ धीरे धीरे केसेस को मैं ऐड करते जा रहा हूँ. अभी तक कंटिंजेंसी जो लॉस है उसके दो केसेस मैंने करवा दिया आपको. इफ इट कैन बी एस्टिमेटेड इट इज टू बी प्रोवाइडेड फॉर इन फुल. Whatever amount we are expecting, we are not able to recover. We have to provide for that. In case we are not able to estimate that how much loss will occur, then we need not to provide for. We need not to provide for any. We need not to create any provision. Instead, what we will do, we will disclose it in the financial statement. That's it. Good. So I am coming to contingent gain. That is already made clear to you. Just we have to understand it now. It is not recognized in financial statement since this recognition may result in recognition of revenue which never has been realized. Because until unless it has not been realized, we need not to recognize it in the books of account. Recognized meaning we have to enter. So we need not to enter it in the books of accounts. We need not to create any provision for it. However, when the realization of a gain is virtually certain means for we are taking a virtual class and this is certain that the class is running. We are taking a virtual class, but certainty is this that the class is running. Here what is saying that where the realization of a gain is virtually certain means this is certain that the amount will be received, then such gain is not a contingency and accounting for the gain is appropriate. The amount at which a contingency is stated in the financial statement is based on the information which is available at the date at which the financial statements are approved. I would like to take an example for this, very good example for this. Now, the same thing is there. I have claimed a creditor has sued me for rupees 10 lakhs for lower quality of goods a creditor is sued by me. Sorry. For rupees 10 lakh for lower quality of goods supplied by him. There is a creditor from whom I am purchasing goods. He has supplied lower quality of goods to me. So I have claimed rupees 10 lakh from him, but he is not able to, he is not paying it. So I have sued him in the court. Now what will happen? If I'll win the case, I'll get rupees 10 lakh. If I'll not win the case, I'll not get rupees 10 lakh. एक क्रेडिटर है जिससे मैंने गुड्स परचेज करी, मैंने उसको पेमेंट भी कर, बट बाद में मैंने देखा कि उसकी जो क्वालिटी है गुड्स की काफी लोअर थी, मैंने उसको क्लेम कर दिया कि 10 लाख रुपए मैं आपसे क्लेम करता हूँ, भी 1 करोड़ की गुड्स थी जो मैंने उससे परचेज करी थी, तो मैंने उसको 10 लाख का क्लेम डाल दिया कि 10 लाख रुपए आप मुझे पे करो. नाउ केस इज इन द कोर्ट ऑन 31st of March and nothing is confirmed whether the payment will be received or not. अभी कंफर्म्ड नहीं है कि पेमेंट आएगी कि नहीं आएगी, कुछ ऐसा कंफर्म नहीं है. सो इट इज नॉट टू बी recognized in the books of accounts. इसको recognize नहीं करना books. But what has happened, once again I would like to discuss one more good thing with you, that is I am finalizing my balance sheet on 31st of July, because you should have to understand this thing, that the balance sheet is not finalized on 31st of March. It takes time. So there's a gap of 4 months in it. During these 4 months, there are some good things happen, and I'm on the right path, and I'm seeing that the, you may say I win the case, win the case on 30th of June. I win the case on 30th of June. Now in that case, what we have to do? This is the event occur after the balance sheet date. Event occur after the balance sheet date. So balance sheet date is 31st of March. So this event has been occurred after the balance sheet date. Now it has declared that I win the case, and when I am finalizing my balance sheet on 31st of March, then obviously this was my confirmed income. I win the case and I received rupees 10 lakhs. Then what I have to do? Now, as on the date of 31st of July, when I am finalizing my balance sheet, when I am filing my return or finalizing my balance sheet, I may recognize an income of rupees 10 lakh on 31st of March, as it is confirmed. So I may enter it into my books of account. I may enter it into my books of account. But if no such event has occurred, no such confirmation has been received, then I will not enter it into my books of account. I will not recognize. But if before finalizing my balance sheet date, any event has been occurred and that event has changed the situation of 31st of March, then I may also change the situation on 31st of March beta. Just wait, I'm going to tell you one more thing. After then you will be clear. That is event occurring after the balance sheet date. After this you will be you are going to make a good estimate of it. In this we have to understand the event. There are two types of events we are saying, significant and non-significant events. Now if the result of case is declared, then it means for it is a significant event because it is impacting our decision on 31st of March also. But if no such result has been occurred, then it is an insignificant event. So there are two types of events. One is significant and second one is non-significant. And then one is favorable and second is non-favorable. An event is favorable if we win the case. If we lose the case, it is unfavorable. So there are two words, significant, insignificant, and there are two words further, favorable and unfavorable, that occurs between the balance sheet date and the date on which financial statements are approved by the BOD in the case of a company and by the corresponding approving authority in the case of any other entity. Means proprietorship firm में proprietor जिस डेट को फाइनल करेगा और पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म में पार्टनर्स जिस डेट को ओके करेंगे और डायरेक्टर्स के केस, कंपनी के केस में डायरेक्टर जिस दिन इसको ओके करेंगे, एज ऑन दैट डेट हमने ये देखना है व्हाट इज द सिचुएशन. सो सी इट, try to understand with an example. For the year ending 31st of March 2011, financial statements is finalized and approved by the BOD in its meeting held on 4th of September 2011. In this case, the event taking place between 1st of April to 4th of September are termed as events occurring after the balance sheet date. So this is to be understood first. What means for the event occurring after the balance sheet date? An event which has been occurred between the date of closing of our books of accounts to the date on which balance sheet is approved by the approving authority. So write it down with you, beta. First of all, you will have to note it down with you. What is the event occurring after the balance sheet date? Event occurring after the balance sheet date. What is the event? That is the date of closing of books to the means हम लोग period की बात करें. I'm talking about the period. What is the period? That is date of closing of books of accounts to the date of approving of financial statements, I may say. Approving of financial statements by the approving authority. So if it is if on 31st of March I have to close my books of accounts, 31st of March 2022, and the balance sheet is approved or financial statements are approved on 31st of July as in my previous example, then this period is called event. This is the period which is to be considered for the purpose of checking an event which has been occurred during this period. Whatever event occurred during this period, that is the event occurring after the balance sheet. So this is a concept which you have to understand. Okay, write it down with me. Date of closing of books to the date of approval of financial statements by the approving authority is the if any event occurred during this period, that is the event occurring after the balance sheet date. So in this, there are two types of events. I will take the queries after just 5 minutes, because after then you will be able to understand this concept and many queries will be automatically resolved better. So there are two types of events. One are the adjusting and second one is a non-adjusting event. Adjusting event means for which provide further evidence or condition existing at the balance sheet date. For example, a trade receipt means in simple words, we can say that if anything has been happened during the period from the date of closing to the date of finalizing of balance sheet, then if any condition has been changed during that period, then that event will be adjusted. Adjusting, that is, then that event will be named as adjusting event, which will, because it will change the picture of your balance sheet. It will change the picture of your balance sheet, because earlier I have shown that I'm not going to receive anything. But if I win the case during that period, obviously that is an adjusting event because it has changed the picture. So that is an adjusting event because it will be adjusted in your balance sheet also. So due to that reason, it is named as an adjusting event. And non-adjusting, which are just indicating the condition that arose subsequent to the balance sheet date, means which is not to be adjusted. So see, here you have to understand this thing. Those which provide further evidence or condition that existed at balance sheet date. First of all, it is in relation to the condition which is existing at the balance sheet date. For example, a trade receivable means debtor. A debtor is declared insolvent after reporting date and unable to pay full amount against whom provision for doubtful debts was created. So it means for very simple that I have debtors of worth rupees. I have a debtor worth rupees 10 lakh as on 31st of March, and before finalizing the date of finalizing the financial statements, that debtor is declared insolvent and nothing has been recovered from it. So we may create provision of rupees 10 lakh against him because it is now confirmed. As on 31st of March, we doesn't know whether he will be declared insolvent or not. Any such problem was not there. But after then we come to know that he has been declared insolvent, so we will adjust it. So this is an adjusting it. Non-adjusting events for which are indicative of condition that arose subsequent to the balance sheet date, for example, plant got damage due to occurrence of fire. That means for what? As on 31st of March, there is no such condition of fire or like that. But on 30th of June or on 15th of July, our plant got damaged due to the occurrence of fire. Now, this is not required to be adjusted on 31st of March because no such assumption was there, no such working was there, because this is not a case of entry of just all the things which has been occurred during the period of 4 months. Because in such a way, we can say that we have made a sale of 10 crores during this period. You may say, yeah. Here I have taken an example. A creditor is sued by rupees 10 lakh for losses of quality of goods supplied by him. But this means for a case on creditor is appearing on 31st of March. If I have sued him on 15th of April, if I have sued a person on 15th of April and I win the case before 31st of July, means finalizing my balance sheet, then there is no chance of recording it into our books of accounts because I have not sued him on 31st of March. No such condition was, no such situation was there, which is to be confirmed, which is to be for which I am waiting. On 31st of March, no such position was there because at that time I doesn't know that I will sue a creditor. On 31st of March, everything was okay. Now the situation has been appeared, a condition has been appeared on 15th of April. Because if we'll think like this, then obviously whatever has been occurred during these 4 months, we will enter it in on 31st of March, which is purely wrong. Because we are preparing accounts for 21-22, not for 22-23. We are preparing accounts for 21-22. So whatever the condition appearing on 31st of March, if that condition is confirmed before the balance sheet date, then we may adjust it into our books of accounts. But if no such condition was appearing on that date, but that condition, that thing, that working has been done after that date, even there may be a chance that I have purchased goods from someone. Just assume I have purchased goods worth rupees 10 lakh from him, and those goods are to be sold for rupees 12 lakhs, but it has been sold for 50 lakhs, and this whole thing has been happened from 1st of April 22 to 31st of July 22. Now, while finalizing our balance sheet for 21-22, whether it is to be shown into the books of accounts that I have earned a profit of 40 lakhs, I have earned a profit of rupees 40 lakh, whether it is to be shown during this period or it is to be shown during this period, beta. Just tell me. I have purchased goods of rupees 10 lakh on 15th of April 22. Sold, it is to be sold for rupees 12 lakh, but it has been sold for rupees 50 lakh on 25th of April 22. Now, whether this profit belongs to 1st of April 22 to 31st of July, means 22-23, or this profit belongs to 21-22. Even balance sheet is not finalized for the period of 21-22. Balance sheet is to be finalized on 31st of July 22 for the period 21-22. So tell me, the profit of rupees 40 lakh is to be entered in 22-23 or 21-22? Just I am asking query from you. 22-23. Very good. Very good. Weightage and very good. Very good. Remainings. देखो मेरी सिंपल एग्जांपल है कि हमने 10 लाख की परचेज करी 15 अप्रैल को, 15 अप्रैल को परचेज कर रहे हैं, उसको हम लोग सेल कर रहे हैं 25 अप्रैल को 22 में 50 लाख में, तो हमें 40 लाख का एक अनएक्सपेक्टेड प्रॉफिट हो गया। एक प्रॉफिट जो हम कभी सोच ही नहीं रहे थे, हम तो सोच रहे थे हमें सिर्फ 2 लाख का प्रॉफिट होगा, बट हमने कितना अर्न कर लिया? 40 लाख रुपीज। कितना अर्न कर लिया हमने? 40 लाख रुपीज। तो ये तो अनएक्सपेक्टेड प्रॉफिट हो गया। क्या इसे हम पिछले साल की बैलेंस शीट में डालेंगे, लास्ट ईयर की बैलेंस शीट में डालेंगे? नहीं डालेंगे ना। क्यों नहीं डालेंगे? बिकॉज वो लास्ट ईयर का प्रॉफिट ही नहीं है। इसी तरह से अगर कोई सिचुएशन 31 मार्च को क्रिएट नहीं हुई, बाद में वो सिचुएशन क्रिएट हुई और उसका रिजल्ट भी आ गया, तो उसको हम नहीं डालेंगे। लेकिन अगर कोई सिचुएशन पहले से क्रिएट हो चुकी है, अगर ये गुड्स 10 लाख की लेके 31 मार्च से पहले मैंने ये सोचा होता कि ये गुड्स मेरी 12 लाख की बिकेंगी और मुझे सिर्फ 2 लाख का प्रॉफिट होता और प्रॉफिट रिकॉग्नाइज कर लिया होता मैंने, और बाद में उस प्रॉफिट को चेंज करना पड़ता, ऐसा कुछ शायद हम लोग सोचते। अभी ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं। तो इसी तरह से ये मैं समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं बेटा आपको कि यहां पर क्या हो रहा है कि जो ट्रेड रिसीवेबल है वो डेटर जो है हमारा इंस्टॉलमेंट हो गया, बट वो डेटर हमारा एग्जिस्ट कर रहा था और हमें चांसेस थे कि ये पर्सन इंस्टॉलमेंट हो सकता, ये पर्सन के कुछ पैसे हमारे रिकवर नहीं होंगे, बट इट इज नॉट क्लियर हाउ मच अमाउंट इज नॉट रिकवर। कितने पैसे रिकवर नहीं होंगे ये नहीं पता था, और ये पता लग गया मुझे। कब पता लग गया? 31 जुलाई से पहले, बैलेंस शीट डेट फाइनल होने से पहले। तो मैं पूरे का पूरे अमाउंट का प्रोविजन डालूंगा कि नहीं डालूंगा? डालूंगा। आई विल एंटर इट एज ए प्रोविजन। बट दूसरे केस में नॉन एडजस्टिंग में क्या हो रहा है? नॉन एडजस्टिंग इवेंट वो है जिसमें मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि प्लांट में फायर हो जाएगी। प्लांट था 31 मार्च को, बट उसमें फायर के कोई चांसेस नहीं थे। तो ये सिचुएशन एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रही थी 31 मार्च को। अब वो फायर कब हुई? 31 जुलाई से पहले हो गई। तब भी उसको मैं अपनी बुक्स में रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करूंगा, बट डिस्क्लोजर दे दूंगा। डिस्क्लोजर दे दूंगा बिकॉज डिस्क्लोजर देने में मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। डिस्क्लोजर देने से लोगों को पता लग जाएगा कि हाँ जी भी ये जिसने डिसीजन लेना है उसके तो हेल्प हो जाएगी, बिकॉज उसको तो हेल्प करना मेरी जिम्मेवारी बनती है। दिस इज माई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू give proper information to everyone, but information is of two ways. One is to enter, adjust it into the books of account. Second is just to disclose it better. So whether I have to disclose it or I have to adjust it, that is an important point which is to be discussed now, which is to be considered now. Adjusting events. So adjusting, do one thing, you will have to review it. Then after the break of 10 minutes, we will be once again going to start further. So you may have some break, be relaxed, then we will restart it. Let's have a break. Ah, welcome back, beta. So let's start with the same concept, whatever we are discussing before the break. We are discussing about the events which are named as adjusting and non-adjusting event. Let's understand with the definition of these events, which is very much important to understand. Already discussed what meant for adjusting event meant for the event which are to be adjusted to assets and liabilities. Means these are to be adjusted in the books of accounts. These events are not to be just read and left. These are to be adjusted. So adjusted means plus minus karna. That means for it has to be added or deducted. It has to be debited or credited. Whatever we have to do, we have to done it occurring after the balance sheet date that provide additional information materially affecting the determination of the amount of relating to conditions existing at the balance sheet date. So first of all, whatever condition is existing at the balance sheet date, if that condition is materially changing with the outcome of such event, then it is named, then it is to be adjusted in the books of accounts, then it is to be entered in the books of accounts. For example, if we have some debtors which is for which provision has to been created to some extent, or we are expecting a loss to be made in future, and before the finalization of balance sheet an event has been occurred which in which that particular debtor has been declared insolvent. If a debtor is declared insolvent, that means for the condition which is existing on 31st of March is confirmed now. So due to that reason, it is to be adjusted in the books of accounts by creating 100% provision. If the complete amount is written off, if 50% loss has been occurred, then 50% provisioning can be made. Even at the time of 31st of March, we are creating a provision of only 10%. We are expecting a loss of 10%, but now situation has been changed and everything is very much clear. So we can enter it into the books of accounts. There is no problem. And next one is non-adjusting event beta. Those events which are not required to be adjusted into the books of accounts are named as non-adjusting event. Means an event which are not appropriate for events occurring after a balance sheet if such event do not relate to condition existing at the balance sheet date. For example, we have taken an example here that if there is an investment in our books of accounts or balance sheet में कुछ भी आपका asset हो, any asset, I'm talking about any asset, even it may be a except current assets, what I'm saying, करंट एसेट्स को छोड़ के कोई भी एसेट्स है, जैसे आपके पास बैलेंस शीट है, आपके पास लैंड है, बिल्डिंग है, मशीनरी है, so any asset whose value has been changed during the period of you may say date of closing of books of accounts to the date of finalization of books of accounts, means 31st March to 31st July, whatever we have estimated a date, we have discussed a date, but it may be anything else also. So an example is that investment which is appearing with in our books of accounts on 31st of March worth rupees 10 lakh, the market value of this investment is reduced to 2 lakh only. There's a loss of 8 lakh which has been occurred during the period, but this is not to be entered in the books of accounts. An example is the decline in the market value between the balance sheet date and the date on which the financial statements are approved. Ordinary fluctuation in market value do not normally relate to the conditions of the balance sheet or the investment at the balance sheet date, but reflect circumstances which have occurred in the following period. So this is a fluctuation which has been occurred. We need not to consider it into our. We need not to provide any provision for that. Yes, we may do one thing. We may disclose it. So event occurring after the balance sheet which do not affect the figures stated in the financial statement would not normally require disclosure in the financial statement. Event occurring after the balance sheet date which do not affect the figures stated in the financial statement would not normally require disclosure in the financial statement, although they may be of such significance that they may require a disclosure in the report of the approving authority to enable users of financial statement to proper valuation and decisions. So they may be disclosed where? They may be disclosed only in approving authorities report means director's report, we can say, because owner's report, director's report, we can say. So it will be disclosed there only. For example, we may say that already taken few example also earlier, like investments value is decreased, building value is decreased, or a project which has been you may say received to us after the balance sheet date. We have received a project worth rupees 10 lakhs or 50 lakh or 1 crore, or an unexpected project has been received to me. So that is just required to be disclosed if we think that it may affect the decision making of the users. If it will not affect the users' decision making, then there is no problem at all. Because just assume that I have made a sale of 1 crore during the period of balance sheet date to the date of finalization of books of accounts, then it is not required to be disclosed because it is a routine that we are doing it. But if we have made a sale of hundreds of crore or big project is received to me, then we may disclose it in our books of accounts just for the purpose of giving benefit of information to the users of accounts, nothing else. Now, dividend declared after balance sheet date. Very good point. Actually, dividend is declared out of the profit of the previous year. Like if we are working for 21-22, then its dividend will be declared in 22-23. Then how it will be treated? Sorry. There are events which takes place after the balance sheet date because of statutory requirement. Now, this is a statutory requirement that dividend declared after balance sheet date for the previous year is to be shown in the balance sheet. It is to be shown in the balance sheet. So if dividend are declared after the balance sheet date, if dividend is declared after the balance sheet date, but before the finalization statements are approved, the dividend is not recognized as liability at the balance sheet date because no obligation exists at that time unless a statutory requirement otherwise. Such dividends are disclosed in the notes. So it is to be disclosed in the note. No liability for proposed dividend needs to be recognized in a financial statement. We have listened to the word proposed dividend, which is proposed but not yet declared. So if we have any proposed dividend for the year, for the previous year, then it is just required to be disclosed in the notes, but it is not required to. There are also notes to accounts, which are also, you may say, not as important as director's report even. These are the last thing which is to be just for a disclosure, nothing else. So it have not a good impact on the decision making of the users also. This is just an information which has been provided to the user. Even directors have not approved it in a proper way because director's report is not there. It is not required to be disclosed in director report. It is notes to accounts. So it is, if such dividend which has been proposed, then this is to be disclosed in the notes as per Companies Act. Now he says if we have proposed a dividend for the year 31st March 2017, then it is just required to be shown in notes, nothing else is to be done. Let's discuss your queries because now I can give you the answer of queries also. Yeah, sir, what about before 31st of March 2017? What it means, so I understood. What about before 31st of March? If dividend is declared before 31st of March, obviously it is to be disclosed in the books of accounts. It is to be adjusted in the books of accounts. But if it is proposed before 31st of March and declared after 31st of March, then provision is to be created. Even then provision is to be created. There is no problem. Those events are subsequent events in audit, right, sir? Yes, beta. Sir, please give some examples of adjusting and non-adjusting event because of profit or loss occurred after the balance sheet date whose condition and arise before. Obviously, I will take some examples because there are many cases which we have to take. It is just a starting. What is the accounting treatment if any debtor turns out to be insolvent subsequent to the date of closing, where we had recognized the amount in provision for? The complete loss is to be provided for in the books of accounts. If a debtor who has already been provided for to some extent, assume that the debtor worth rupees 10 lakh. Assume that the debtor worth rupees 10 lakh. Now what happened? I have created a provision of 10% on it as we are expecting that there may be some loss in future. So I have created a provision of 1 lakh on it. Now before finalization of books of accounts or financial statements, this debtor is declared insolvent and 60% is recovered. So the remaining 40% is to be provided over in 31st of March, on 31st of March, that is in the previous year. There's no problem. Already taken many examples for this. Let's understand this. Like this. It is also seen that we supplied goods to Mahesh. Now, I may take an example that a debtor worth rupees 10 lakh is appearing on 31st of March, on which provision is created for 1 lakh. Now it is declared insolvent on 15th of July 22, and we have recovered only 60%. If we have recovered 60%, it means for there's a loss of 40% on it, that is 4 lakhs. So in 22, in 21-22, loss worth rupees 4 lakh is to be provided for. Yeah, provision is to be created. It is not written off in the way that debtor reduced to 4 lakh, reduced by 4 lakh. That is not to be done. Instead, provision was to be created for 4 lakh, and the entry is to be passed profit or loss account debit to provision debit. Very simple. Is the last requirement applicable for dividend only? Yeah, but dividend or such like events which has been occurred after 31st of March, because dividend is a statutory requirement to be shown in the books of accounts. So its provision, the proposed dividend is to be shown in notes to accounts. As it is declared before 31st of March but given on 30th of June, then where it should be noted? Are you talking about dividend, beta? It is declared before 31st of March exactly, but given on, yeah, good question. A dividend is declared before 31st of March but given on 30th of June, then it is to be shown in the books of accounts in the previous year, that is 21-22, in full by the name of proposed dividend. Because whenever a dividend is declared, then it is named as a proposed dividend or a dividend as per the case. As per the case, because in number of cases we are using the word dividend. In number of cases we are using the word proposed dividend. So because the dividend is, until and unless dividend is not declared, it is just discussed by the management that we are interested to pay the dividend, it is named as proposed. Once it is declared, it is named as dividend. So let it be clear on this point. Sir, if the proposed dividend is declared after the balance sheet date but before the finalization of account, then what will be the treatment? It will be shown in notes. It will be shown in notes. It is not if proposed dividend is declared. Okay, but these are different words. One is proposed. Just a moment, I will take a new page. One is proposed. Proposed is not declared. Proposed means for it has been proposed by management only. It is not yet declared. Once it is declared, it is intimated to shareholders that we will pay it. These are two different words. If it is declared, it is to be entered in the books of accounts. Once it is proposed, it is just to be shown in notes, nothing else. So it varies. If dividend is proposed before balance sheet date but declared after balance sheet date, it's adjusting or non, it's non-adjusting event, beta. It's a non-adjusting event. Sir, has my query reached Mr. Shri Ram? Shri Ram. If I have left your query, you may send it once again by making copy paste, because yeah, anyone whose query is left may send the query once again. Beta. It's a favor for me. Yes. So let's go forward. Event indicating going concern assumption inappropriate. This is the most important point. If any event has occurred which has deteriorated our position as on 31st of March, because on 31st of March we assume that the business will run for a long term, because we are assuming that it is a going concern business. What is going concern concept? Anyone may explain? You have taught about the event occurring after balance sheet date but before approval of financial statement. If case 1 before 31st of July, then it will be declared as income in books of accounts for the year. But if case is 1 after 31st July, mean how to deal with it? Just to disclose it better, nothing else. It is to be given in disclosure only, that we have this case which such type of case is running, nothing else. Because contingent gain cannot be anticipated. Do not anticipate gains. If any contingency is resolved after balance sheet date but before approval, then it is noted in balance sheet as it is occur on 31st of March. Sir. Contingency loss. Contingency loss. Why in module it written that dividend declared should not be disclosed in books? Because it has been mentioned that, see here it is, dividend declared after balance sheet date. Here it has been mentioned, such dividends are disclosed in the notes. Yes, such dividends are disclosed in the notes. So it is to be shown in notes. If dividends are declared after the balance sheet date but before the finalization, financial statements are approved, then dividends are not recognized as a liability at the balance sheet date, but no obligation exists at that time unless a statutory requires otherwise. Such dividends are shown in notes. Thus, no liability for proposed dividend needs to be recognized in the financial statement. Dividend declared meant for here the example is of some different way. Basically, proposed dividend meant for it is proposed by the management, and dividend declared meant for it has been declared properly. So there are two words here. There is some understanding which you have to take. Let's come to the next point. Yes, very good. Going concern is in which entity will run for unforeseen future. Very good. Going concern concept meant for that business will run for long term. Hence, all the assets and liabilities are to be taken, all the fixed assets are to be taken at book value, not at the market value. That is a concept. But if before the finalization of balance sheet, it has been confirmed, it is confirmed that the going concern assumption is not accurate now, business is going to be closed within the next few months, then there is a big difference which we have to discuss now. Event occurring after the balance sheet date may indicate that the enterprise ceasing to be a going concern. So it means for we are expecting that the business is going to be shut down within the short term of period. That is a destruction of the major production plant by a fire. There may be a reason that our major production plant has been damaged, has been destroyed. So may indicate a need to consider whether it is appropriate to use the fundamental accounting assumption or not. In this case, the going concern assumption is not valid and the financial statements are prepared on liquidated basis, means this will be affected, its effect will be shown in the balance sheet. Its effect will be shown as it will be an adjusted event. Even there is no such condition appearing on balance sheet date. Even then, if before the finalization of balance sheet and the main assumption has been deteriorated, means that the main assumption of going concern is deteriorated, in that case fixed assets are to be shown at market value, or even we can say all the assets and liabilities are to be shown at their realizable value, because we are going to, our business is going to be closed within the very short span of time. It is confirmed. In that case, we have to make a retrospective effect of the same. Is that clear? Event occurring after the balance sheet date, evidence of such condition being existed at the balance sheet date, it is an adjusted event. It is a brief discussion of all that what we have discussed. So he says event occurring after the balance sheet date, evidence of such condition being existed at the balance sheet date. Its evidence was there. It's an adjusting event. Its adjustment to be made in assets and liabilities, and disclosure is to be given in the financial statement. And the second thing is no evidence of such condition has been existed. It is a non-adjusted event. Adjustment to assets and liabilities is not required, and disclosure in the report of approving authority is to be given. That's it. That's it. But the most important point is that if going concern assumption is going to be deteriorated, if that is going to affect, in that case, this will be a limitation. This will be a exception to this condition, because at that time no evidence was there. But even then it has to be adjusted. So in that case, it will not be an non-adjusting event. It will be an adjusting event. So this is a, you may say, exception to this point. Disclosure, which is most important, let it to be very much clear कि किस चीज का disclosure आपने देना है. What is to be disclosed that you must have to. Deterioration means inappropriate, means जो चीज खराब हो जाती है उसे डिटोरिएट कहते हैं. जो चीज खराब हो गई, जो इनएप्रोप्रिएट है, जो सही नहीं है, तो गोइंग कंसर्न एजम्पशन जो है वो हमारी, जो हम मान रहे थे वो एजम्पशन ही हमारी फेल हो गई है, तो उसे कहते हैं कि डिटोरिएट होगी, मतलब इनएप्रोप्रिएट होगी, मतलब वो फेल हो गई है. लिक्विडेशन का मतलब रियलाइजेशन होता है. बिल्कुल ठीक है बेटा, यू आर राइट. सो डिस्क्लोजर देना है जो आपने, दैट वी हैव टू डिस्कस. देयर आर टू थिंग्स व्हिच आर टू बी डिस्क्लोज्ड. वन इज द नेचर ऑफ द इवेंट, दैट व्हाट विल बी द नेचर ऑफ द इवेंट, and second thing is an estimated loss or profit, whatever we are saying, estimated amount of profit or loss, this is to be disclosed. So these two things are very important. These two things are very important. So let's take some illustrations which has been given there. I will take some technical illustrations so that you can, because the remaining you may do easily. Yeah. Illustration number 4. Illustration number 4. In preparing the financial statement of R Limited for 31st of March 2011, following informations are there. We have to state with reason how you will deal with the conditions. Company invested ₹100 lakh before approval of financial statement by the Board of Studies in the acquisition of another company doing similar business, and the negotiation was started in the previous year itself. Means before 31st of March negotiation has been started. After 31st of March and before finalization of the balance sheet, a deal has been done. It has been closed that 100 lakh will be invested in, and this is a major decision. So how it is to be understood? Read the answer given to you first of all. What it is it a contingency or event occurring after the balance sheet? First of all, this is to be considered. Is it a contingency or event occurring after the balance sheet? Queries of going concern and dividend will be resolved in the examples. Don't worry, I will take few examples for the same, illustrations for the same. In that you will understand each and everything. Just wait. Yes, it's an event occurring after the balance sheet, right? Because it is not a contingency which may or may not occur in the future, because that we have already discussed, which is depending upon some uncertain future events. So AS4 defines as those significant events, those favorable that occurs after the balance sheet date but before the financial. Accordingly, this is the way how you will have to give the answer in exam beta. First of all, you have to define the concept. Let's understand this thing, how you have to give answer in your exam. You need not to write yes, no, yes it is right, yes it is no, it's not right. ऐसे नहीं लिखना आपने. You will not have to write it this way. The answer is to be given by giving the concept first of all. Give a relevant concept for the same. Define that concept. That AS4 revised defines event occurring after the balance sheet date as those significant events, both favorable, that occurs between the balance sheet date and the date on which financial statements are approved. Accordingly, the acquisition of another company is an event occurring after the balance sheet date. First of all, you have to identify this, that which AS is applicable on it. One. Second, out of that, what concept will be applicable, that is event occurring after the balance sheet date. Okay, and then however no adjustment to assets and liabilities is required as the event doesn't affect the determination and the condition of the amount stated in the financial statement. Because in financial statement we have not disclosed it as an income or as our expense, because this was just a discussion, and such type of discussions are normally running in routine. Because whenever we are doing a business, then acquiring new businesses or doing sale or making purchases, this is a continuous process, but it affects the decision of the user of accounts. So due to that reason, it will be disclosed. It will not be treated as an adjusting event. Instead, it will be treated as a non-adjusting event, which is required to be disclosed because it is a major event which has been occurred. If any major event is occurred, that can be disclosed, but that is not required to be adjusted in your assets and liabilities. So no adjustment to assets and liabilities is required. However, the disclosure should be made of the approving authority of those events occurring after the balance sheet date that represent material changes and commitments affecting the financial position of the enterprise. The investment of rupees 100 lakh for the acquisition of another company enable users of financial statement to make proper evaluation and decision. Due to that reason, it is to be disclosed. Otherwise, it is not required to be disclosed, but here it gives a good impact on the material decision making, so it is required to be disclosed only. So this is the way how you have to give the answer. Yes. One thing is there. I would like to share a story with you. Share a situation with you. देखो, एक वो लोग हैं जो पानी में तैरते हैं, स्विमिंग करते हैं. तो वो लोग स्विमिंग करते हैं, दैट्स इट, स्विमिंग करके निकल जाते हैं. कई लोग हैं जो पानी के नीचे चले जाते हैं और चेक करते हैं नीचे क्या क्या है, उसमें से वो चीजें निकाल के लाने की कोशिश करते हैं. जब हम स्टडी करते हैं ना बेटा, तो उस केस में एग्जाम्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आपको सिर्फ कंसेप्ट समझना है और स्विमिंग करके आगे निकल जाना है, बिकॉज आपको आगे बढ़ना है. ये सिर्फ 5 मार्क्स में क्वेश्चन आएंगे आपको. ये जितने भी क्वेश्चंस की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, ये सिर्फ 5 मार्क्स के आएंगे. तो 5 मार्क के क्वेश्चन के लिए आपको सिर्फ आंसर लिखने का तरीका आना चाहिए और आपको उसका आंसर देके आगे बढ़ जाना. उसमें ज्यादा अपने आप को स्ट्रेस में नहीं लेके जाना. I would like to tell you one thing, that you need not to go into the depth. You should have to understand the concept and go forward, because swimmers are always good if they will swim and go forward. If they will go into the deep and try to find what is the reason how I am swimming, whether oxygen is available or not there, then it is not right, because they need not to check whether oxygen is there in the water or not, because there is no oxygen in the water. We know it very well. We should have to swim and go forward. So I would like to tell you that it is not difficult whatever we are discussing. These are very simple. I would like to explain it in another way also. I would like to go for another thing. Let's see this. Those who are suffering from any type of doubt, they will be clarified with this. Yes. Now, AS4, it is to be discussed in brief. It will help you to understand each and everything. So AS4 में what we have discussed, एक बार मैं हिंदी में बता देता हूँ आप लोगों को, ताकि समझ भी लग जाए जिनको नहीं समझ लगा अभी तक. AS4 में एक तो इवेंट्स होते हैं जो अकरिंग आफ्टर द बैलेंस शीट डेट होते हैं, कंटीजेंसीज होती हैं. दो चीजें हम लोग डील करते हैं. ओके, अब इसमें जो कंटीजेंसीज हैं वो कौन सी होती हैं? कंटीजेंसीज, सारी कंटीजेंसीज जहां पर हमें लगता है जो इवेंट हो सकता, जो काम कल को हो भी सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता, उसको हम कंटीजेंसी कहते हैं. उस कंटीजेंसी में से क्या क्या कवर नहीं करना, पहले तो ये समझ लो. लाइबिलिटी ऑफ लाइफ इंश्योरेंस एंड जनरल इंश्योरेंस, मतलब अगर जनरल इंश्योरेंस से रिलेटेड कोई लाइबिलिटी है या लाइफ इंश्योरेंस से रिलेटेड कोई लाइबिलिटी है तो वो कवर नहीं करनी, बिकॉज उसके लिए जो इंश्योरेंस के लिए है वो इंश्योरेंस एक्ट है, वहां से कवर होती है. अगर कोई रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिट प्लान से रिलेटेड कोई आपकी लाइबिलिटीज है, ऑब्लिगेशन है, वो भी कवर नहीं करनी. या कोई लॉन्ग टर्म लीज कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स हैं वो कवर नहीं करने, बिकॉज वो AS 19 में कवर हो जाती है. तो ये 3 कंटीजेंसीज को निकाल देंगे हमने. ओके, देन इसमें जो हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि इसमें कंडीशन होती है कोई ना कोई, और जिसका अल्टीमेट आउटकम जो है वो हमें डिटरमाइन करना पड़ता है, जो कि किसी ना किसी फ्यूचर के अनसर्टेन इवेंट पे बेस करता है, जिसमें हमें फायदा भी हो सकता है, नुकसान भी हो सकता है। अगर हमें गेन होगा तो दिस इज नॉट टू बी रिकॉग्नाइज्ड इन द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, इसे बुक्स में नहीं डालना। अगर हमें फ्यूचर में कोई लॉस होने के चांसेस लग रहे हैं तो इसे P&L अकाउंट में डालना है। इट इज प्रोबेबल दैट फ्यूचर इवेंट विल कंफर्म दैट after considering related probable recovery an asset has been impaired or a liability has been incurred। अगर हमें कुछ ऐसा लग रहा है कि हमारे एसेट्स और लाइबिलिटीज की वैल्यूज में चेंज आएगा और वो हमें आज की डेट में कुछ हद तक कंफर्म हो रहा है, तो हम लोग प्रोविजन उसकी क्रिएट कर लेंगे, उसके लिए रीजनेबल एस्टिमेट लगाएंगे जो भी उसका हमें लगता है कि लॉस हो सकता है। अगर हम लोग लगा सकते हैं एस्टिमेट तो इट इज टू बी डिस्क्लोज्ड इन द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट। अगर हम लोग एस्टिमेट नहीं लगा सकते तो उसकी प्रोविजनिंग नहीं करेंगे। Disclosed in the financial statement if either of the condition and is not met unless the possibility of loss is remote। remote का मतलब होता है कि जिसकी जो काम होगा, जो काम हमें कंफर्म हो जाएगा। तो अभी मैंने बात करी जो हमारे पास गेन है और जो लॉसेज है उनको मैंने बाइफरकेट कर दिया है। लॉस को किताबों में डालना है, बुक्स में डालना है, गेन को नहीं डालना है। Existence and amount of grantees obligations arising from discounted bills of exchange and a similar obligation undertaken by an enterprise is generally disclosed by way of a note even though the possibility that a loss is to be is। वो कह रहे कि अगर हम लोग कोई बिल डिस्काउंट करवा लेते हैं, बिल ऑफ एक्सचेंज के बेस पर हमें कोई लगता है हमारी ऑब्लिगेशन है, तो उसे हम बुक्स में डालेंगे बिकॉज डेटर से रिलेटेड सारी चीजों को हम लोग इस एएस में कवर करते हैं। डेटर से रिलेटेड कोई भी जो लॉस होने के चांसेस हैं उसको बुक्स में डालते हैं हम लोग। और एक और बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि अगर हमारे पास कोई गारंटी दी है हमने, किसी की कोई ऑब्लिगेशन है डिस्काउंटेड बिल्स की, ये क्योंकि बैंक्स पे होता है, बैंक्स लोगों को डिस्काउंट करते हैं बिल्स, तो बैंक्स ये सारी चीजों को डिस्क्लोज करते हैं, कंटीजेंसीज को डिस्क्लोज करना जरूरी है। इवेंट अकरिंग आफ्टर द बैलेंस शीट डेट, एक फेवरेबल इवेंट होते हैं, एक अनफेवरेबल होते हैं, मैंने पहले बताया था। दूसरे हमारे होते हैं दैट अकर्स बिटवीन द, देखो सबसे पहले तो क्या आ गया, इवेंट अकरिंग आफ्टर द रिपोर्टिंग पीरियड, ये एक फेवरेबल हो सकते हैं, एक अनफेवरेबल हो सकते हैं, ठीक है। दूसरा इसके दैट अकर्स बिटवीन द एंड ऑफ द रिपोर्टिंग पीरियड एंड द डेट व्हेन द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स आर अप्रूव्ड। किसने अप्रूव करनी है वो मैंने बता दिया था, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स ने अप्रूव करनी है या जो उसके ओनर्स हैं, जो उसके पार्टनर्स हैं, उन्होंने अप्रूव करनी है। अब इसमें दो तरह के इवेंट्स होते हैं, एक एडजस्टिंग होते हैं, एक नॉन एडजस्टिंग होते हैं। मतलब इवेंट अकरिंग आफ्टर द बैलेंस शीट में फेवरेबल नॉन फेवरेबल दोनों इवेंट्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं, एक की बात नहीं कर रहे। अब इसमें इवेंट होते किस तरह के हैं, एक एडजस्टमेंट करनी है जिनकी, एक जिनकी एडजस्टमेंट नहीं करनी। एडजस्टमेंट किसकी करनी है, जिसका कुछ भी 31 मार्च को अपेयर हो रहा था और वो हमें लगता था कि ऐसा हो सकता है, उसमें चेंजेस हो सकती हैं। पहले तो वो 31 मार्च को अपेयर होनी चाहिए, जैसे हमारे डेटर्स मैंने कहा 31 मार्च को अपेयर हो रहे हैं और हमें लग रहा है कि उसमें लॉस हो सकता है और वो सच में लॉस बाद में हो गया, तो फिर तो उसको एडजस्ट कर दो, चेंज कर दो। एक है कि मेरे पास बैलेंस शीट में एसेट्स पड़े हैं, लाइबिलिटीज पड़ी हैं, बट मुझे उनपे कोई लॉस होने के चांसेस नहीं लगते और वो लॉस बाद में हो गया, तो वो नॉन एडजस्टिंग इवेंट। एक तो हमें पता है कि लॉस हो सकता है या उसमें कुछ ना कुछ कंडीशन थोड़ी बहुत पहले अपेयर हो रही थी, मतलब उसकी कोई कंटीजेंसी थी फ्यूचर में। अगर पहले कोई कंटीजेंसी थी और वो कंटीजेंसी बाद में कन्वर्ट हो गई कंफर्मेशन में, तो उसको तो एडजस्टिंग मान लेंगे। इफ एनी कंटीजेंसी इज देयर एंड दैट हैज बीन कन्वर्टेड इनटू कंफर्मेशन आफ्टर द बैलेंस शीट, तो उसको तो बुक्स में एडजस्ट कर लेंगे। बट जिसकी कंटीजेंसी पहले नहीं थी उसको एडजस्ट नहीं करना। एक्सेप्शन, इसकी एक्सेप्शन क्या है, एक एक्सेप्शन है इसकी गोइंग कंसर्न। अगर गोइंग कंसर्न अजम्पशन फेल हो रही है तो उस केस में हम लोगों की कंडीशन पहले अपेयर नहीं हो रही तब भी हम उसको एडजस्ट करेंगे। और दूसरा हम लोग डिविडेंड की बात कर रहे थे। डिविडेंड जो है वो 31 मार्च से पहले अगर हम डिक्लेयर कर चुके हैं और पे हम 31 मार्च के बाद करते हैं। डिविडेंड के केस में कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट बातें जो आपको याद रखनी पड़ती हैं। डिविडेंड इज एंटर्ड इन द बुक्स ऑन पेड बेसिस, नॉट ऑन द ड्यू बेसिस। डिविडेंड जो होता है वो पेड बेसिस पे किताबों में एंटर होता है, ड्यू बेसिस पे एंटर नहीं करते हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग ड्यू करके उसको साथ ही पे कर देते हैं नॉर्मली। तो प्रपोज्ड अगर डिविडेंड हमारा हो गया है 31 मार्च के बाद, तो उसका डिस्क्लोजर दे दोगे आप, उसको आप लोग डालोगे नहीं बुक्स में, एडजस्ट नहीं करोगे। लेकिन अगर डिविडेंड आपने 31 मार्च के बाद डिक्लेयर करके पे कर दिया है तो उसको 31 मार्च से पहले डाल दें। अगर डिक्लेयर करके पे कर दिया है बिफोर फाइनलाइजेशन ऑफ बैक बुक्स तो फिर उस केस में हम डाल देंगे। या डिस्क्लोजर किसका देना है? जो एडजस्टिंग इवेंट है उन सभी का डिस्क्लोजर देना है। एग्जांपल्स ऑफ एडजस्टिंग इवेंट्स मैंने बता दिए आपको ऑलरेडी। और दूसरा क्या था? नॉन एडजस्टिंग इवेंट्स है, इनको हम लोग बुक्स में सिर्फ डिस्क्लोज करेंगे। और इनका क्या क्या डिस्क्लोज करना? नेचर ऑफ द इवेंट और एस्टीमेट ऑफ इट्स फाइनेंशियल इफेक्ट, इसका फाइनेंशियल इफेक्ट क्या है। अब डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर्ड वाला आ गया। डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर्ड आफ्टर द रिपोर्टिंग पीरियड but before approval of financial statement, do not recognize it as a liability at the end of the reporting period. Just disclose it in the notes. No obligation exists at the end of reporting period, क्योंकि इसकी कोई obligation arise नहीं हो रही थी। बट अगर हम लोग डिविडेंड को पे कर देते हैं, चलो आप एक ही कंडीशन लेके चलो, बिकॉज डिविडेंड नॉर्मली बैलेंस शीट की डेट से पहले पे होता नहीं है। वो तभी हो सकता है पे अगर उसे हमने पिछले साल में लास्ट ईयर में डिक्लेयर कर दिया था। क्योंकि डिविडेंड, देखो एक लॉजिकल कंसेप्ट क्या रहता है कि डिविडेंड को पहले हम प्रपोज करते हैं, प्रपोज करने के बाद उसके बाद जब बैलेंस शीट फाइनल होके सबमिट हो जाती है उसके बाद नेक्स्ट ईयर उसके बाद पे करते हैं। डिविडेंड एकदम से पे नहीं होता, इसको कम से कम 6 months to 1 year लगते हैं। एक्चुअली क्या होता है, डिविडेंड का प्रोसेस आपको समझना पड़ेगा, आपको फिर ना इसमें इजी हो जाएगा समझना। आई वुड लाइक टू लेट यू अंडरस्टैंड, but before that I would like to do one thing. I would like to discuss everything in English also because some students doesn't know the Hindi, so let's understand for them also. Then I will cover your concept of dividend once again. So AS4 me what we are covering two aspects. One is events occurring after the balance sheet date, second is contingency. So in contingency we need not to cover life insurance contingencies, GIC contingencies, retirement benefit contingencies or lease contract contingencies, because these are covered in their specific laws. Then contingency meaning is already discussed with you, that it is based on the occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more uncertain future events. So it may occur into a gain or a loss. So Prudence Concept tells us that if there is a gain, then do not anticipate it, do not enter it in the books of accounts. But if there is a loss, it will be entered in the books of accounts. It will be written off as a provision. And proper estimate is made for the same if possible. If estimation is not possible, then don't provide for in the books of accounts. Events occurring after the balance sheet date meant for those events which are occurred after the balance sheet date but before approval of the financial statement. It may be favorable or unfavorable. These are divided into two parts. One are adjusting and second one is non-adjusting. Adjusting events are those events which appears as on the date which are related to the event or a contingency which is appearing on the date of 31st of March. If a contingency is already appearing on 31st of March and that has been confirmed after 31st of March, then it is to be treated as an adjusting event. Otherwise, it is to be treated as a non-adjusting event because it doesn't meant for that. So adjusting events are required to be adjusted and adjusted to the assets and liabilities, but non-adjusting are to be disclosed only. Now coming to the point of dividend. When going concern concept fails, okay, 9.3. Yes, as it will help for quick revision. Exactly, I will tell you. Sir, will you upload the file as notes? Yes, beta, you will get it. Report of approving authority means director report. Exactly right, beta. Sir, please share this diagram. Exactly, we will upload this. Illustration number 4, how it is a non-adjusting. Just wait, I will discuss. I'll take your queries tomorrow also, don't worry. But does not it means that financial statements are prepared on liquidation basis, means that all liabilities and assets are disposed of at prevailing market price. Exactly right, beta. How will there be a balances on assets and liabilities if liquidation basis meant for that the assets and liabilities are to be shown in the books at realizable value, and realizable value is to be estimated realizable value, not the exact realizable value, because we are not going to realize it today. It will be realized in future, so we will take its market value or take its realizable value and show our assets and liabilities on that value, beta. That I have discussed in case going concern assumption fails. So what means for dividend is that we have to discuss. Actually, the process of dividend is to be clear to every student. What is the process of dividend? First of all, on 31st of March, we are closing our work, closing our working for the previous year. Then what happened? Then balance sheet is to be finalized. Is to be finalized. It takes 2 to 3 months normally. After finalization of balance sheet, board of directors or the owner, obviously board of directors we normally say, checks that how much profit we have earned. If they have earned a lot of profit and they are expecting that we have to declare dividend, if they have earned a good profit, they will propose to declare dividend. They may propose only. Why? Because whatever decision is to be taken, that will be taken. First of all, they have to propose in the meeting of board of directors meeting. Then it will be, this proposal will be put on table in general meeting. That will happen with the shareholder. In that, shareholders will be present. In that, it will be finalized. All decisions will be finalized there, finalized at that time. So in that, we have to put our balance sheet also. So if we are saying that the balance sheet is to be finalized on 31st of July, then obviously this meeting is to be held normally in the month of, you may say, August. There is a proper period for it also. I'm just giving an estimate, August, September, October, like that. So this meeting is to be held. In that, a proper finalization is to be done that this dividend will be given. So dividend can't be declared on the basis of board of directors meeting only, on the basis of proposal only. The finalization is to be done in GM's meeting only. So when GM meeting is there, general meeting is there, only then it will be finalized. So whatever written here, that is not competitive because it is not coordinated with the law, also company law. So if we will see the company law, this is very much clear that the dividend will be declared properly after the closing of the balance sheet, after the finalization of the balance sheet. So how it can be shown on 31st of March, because it is not yet declared properly. If it is proposed or just they are showing the word that it is declared, proposed like that, this is a language mistake only. Try to understand the concept that the dividend, if already declared before 31st of March, will be entered in that year. Declared after 31st of March is not shown in previous. Let it be very much clear, beta. Sir, you said that board of directors are the owners of the company. Actually, board of directors are not the owners of the company. Only the shareholder who are holding the shares of the company are the owner. Exactly right, beta. I'm not saying board of directors are the owner, because board of directors take the decisions basically. So that I am saying. Some disturbance is there. Sorry. Some disturbance is there. Ramji?
फोटो के फोन चुटू चिड़िया में इसमें लगा देती हूँ टीवी आप हैं क्या नाम चलो
Okay. Some disturbance was there. Can we write disclosure in director's report instead of approving authority report in exam? Exactly, beta. There's no problem because our dividend is a concept in only companies. Sir, as it will, okay. So I think each and everything is clear. I would like to discuss one or two questions with you because time is less. So let's just try to discuss the questions also. Yes. Yes. So illustration number 6. Do it fast. Read the illustration number 6 fast. So tell me how it is to be treated. So this type of questions may come into your exam. As per AS4, it is very much just give me the decision. What will be done in this case? क्या करेंगे इस case में? Just tell me. Basically, you have to understand the concept better. It is adjusting or non-adjusting event. It will be adjusting event. Why? As per AS4, assets and liabilities should be adjusted if something is appearing on 31st of March balance sheet date and future evidence convert it into finalization. So full provision for bad debts amounting to rupees 2 lakh should be made to cover the loss arising due to insolvency. It is because earthquake took place before the balance sheet date. He has made it clear that on 31st of March 2011, a company made a provision for bad debts of its total receipt in the last week of Feb 2011. So Feb 2011 means for what? This is the accounting year 2010-11. So in that year, earthquake has been occurred. If earthquake has already been occurred, then obviously it is very much clear that the situation already appearing on 31st of March. If situation is already appearing on 31st of March, then it has been confirmed in the month of April that before the finalization of balance sheet date. So this loss has been confirmed of rupees 2 lakh. But if the earthquake take place after 31st of March, beta, then this would have been treated as a non-adjusting event and only disclosure is required in AS4 and that will be more than sufficient. So tell me, beta, is that clear? Company provide the try to understand the concept. I'm not giving you the example just to solve it. I'm giving you a concept that the situation already appearing before 31st of March was the earthquake which has already been occurred. If this earthquake was not occurred at that time, then this event will be assumed as a non-adjusting event because this is very much clear in this case. So bankruptcy was in non-adjusting event, it should be disclosed. Bankrupt was a non-adjusting event, it should be disclosed. I don't understand what you are interested to say. Yes, company provide the loss as some condition happened before balance sheet date and adjusted. Exactly right, beta. Yes, last illustration. Illustration number 7. During the year 11-12, Raj has been sued by a competitor for 15 lakh for infringement of a trademark. Based on the advice, Raj Limited provide for a sum of rupees 10 lakh in its financial statement. It's okay, no problem. The court decided in favor of the party alleging infringement of the trademark to pay the aggrieved amount of rupees 14 lakh. Now 14 lakh is to be paid on 18th of May. So 4 lakh is an adjusting event or not? Because the date of finalization of balance sheet is 30th of May. So this has been occurred on 18th of May. before finalization of balance sheet. So condition is already appearing before 31st of March of rupees 10 lakh. We have already provided for rupees 10 lakh in our books of account because everything was known to us. So if 14 lakh is there, so this will be a confirmation. So we may do that. There's no problem. As per AS4, adjustment to S are required if that provide additional information materially affecting the determination of the amount. In the given case, it is an adjusting event because it is an event occurred before approval of the financial statement. So 4 lakh will be entered in the books of accounts also, means provision for rupees 14 lakh is to be done. Had the judgment of the court has been delivered on 1st of June, if the judgment come after 30th of May, the date of finalization of the balance sheet, then 10 lakh of the provision of rupees 10 lakh is sufficient, no need of providing for rupees 4 lakh. It would be considered as an event occurring after the approval of the financial statement, which is not covered. In that case, no adjustment is required. So you should have to understand the concept better. Assume everything is clear. This AS is very much clear. Now I need one support from your side, my dear students. Today is our first lecture. No matters how we have covered it, but from tomorrow we have to cover it in a conceptual way with more understanding, with more logic. For that I need your help. You must have to read the AS in advance. Tomorrow I will try to cover AS5 and AS7. So I suggest you to read the AS5 and AS7. Don't read its illustration. Those are not required. You may just read once AS5 and AS7. In that case, it will be very easy for you to understand it tomorrow. You just read it. I will tell you, I will prepare you from examination point of view. If I'll try to just give you the meanings only, then obviously you will not be able to do it from examination point of view. बेटा आप लोगों का कल का एक होमवर्क है कि आप लोगों ने जो नेक्स्ट एएस हुआ करेगा वो पढ़ के आना है। AS4 तो मैंने बहुत अच्छी तरह से कवर कर दिया, इससे ज्यादा इसमें कुछ नहीं है। आपको सिर्फ इसकी इलस्ट्रेशन जो रह गई है उनको रिव्यू करना है, 2-4 जो रह गई है, और कुछ नहीं करना। ये AS4 खत्म हो गया है। कल का आपका होमवर्क क्या है, आपने AS5 और 7 स्टडी करके आना है। 2 AS डेली हम लोग कवर करने की कोशिश करेंगे, नहीं होंगे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। आपने रीड करके आने हैं, सिर्फ AS पढ़ने हैं, उनकी इलस्ट्रेशन ना पढ़ो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। आप पढ़ के आओगे, मीनिंग्स कुछ समझ लग जाएंगे, कुछ रह जाएंगे, वो मैं आपको समझाऊंगा। उसके बाद मैं मेन काम करूंगा कि मैं आपको एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से उसको तैयार करवाऊंगा। नहीं तो हम लोग इसके मीनिंग्स ही डिस्कस करते रह जाएंगे और एग्जामिनेशन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से हम नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो मेरा सुजेशन है, मेरी एडवाइस है, मेरा ऑर्डर है, तो मानते हो तो ऑर्डर समझ लो कि आप सभी ने कल किसी भी हाल में अगर एएस में 30 में से 28-25 मार्क्स लेने हैं आप सभी ने, तो आप लोगों ने इसको रीड करके आना है कल, ताकि हम लोग इसको बेटर वे से कर पाए। मुझे पता है एएस करवाते हुए मुझे 25 साल हो गए हैं, 20-25 ईयर्स में मैंने हंड्रेड्स ऑफ थाउजेंड्स ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स को एएस करवाए हैं, और मेरे स्टूडेंट्स 80+ से कम मार्क्स लेते ही नहीं है एडवांस अकाउंटिंग, और वो उसमें से सबसे बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड का रहता है। तो मैं सजेस्ट करता हूं कि अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड अगर आप मेरे तरीके से करोगे तो आप लोगों के मार्क्स की मैं गारंटी लेता हूं कि वो 30 में से 25 से ज्यादा आप मार्क्स ले जाओगे, और पूरी अकाउंटिंग में ऑब्वियसली आपको बेनिफिट हो जाएगा, आप 80+ में चले जाओगे। तो मेरा सजेशन मानते हुए, मेरी ऑर्डर को मानते हुए आप लोगों ने कल AS 5 और 7 को रिव्यू करके आना है। होमवर्क मान लो, इसको कुछ भी मान लो, करके आना है, ठीक है। मुझे बताओ कौन कौन करके आएगा, कौन कौन नहीं करके आएगा, कौन कौन करके आएगा। हाँ, एक इलस्ट्रेशन 6 में एक बच्चा कंफ्यूज है, मैं उसको आंसर देता हूं, तब तक बाकी बताओ, बाकी लोग बताओ कौन कौन करके आएगा। इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर 6, while preparing its financial accounts, इसमें आपकी कंफ्यूजन क्या है बेटा? आई कंफ्यूज वेदर टू आंसर रिलेटिंग टू अर्थक्वेक और इंसॉल्वेंसी ऑफ द डेटर। हियर वी हैव टू गिव आंसर ऑफ earthquake beta, because earthquake is an event which has been occurred here. If bankrupt is occurred only, then there is no problem at all, because in that case provision is already made and the person become bankrupt before finalization of balance sheet, it is to be provided for. But earthquake loss can be shown only and only if this event is if this event has been occurred before 31st of March. Rahul, what type of revision do you need? Because you said, sir, not getting, please repeat. Yes, sir, we will definitely do our homework. सभी नहीं करके आएंगे मुझे लगता है, because number of students have not sent that I will do it. So must do your homework, beta. Send me. I will do it. Commitment is commitment. We can commit that we can clear in CA. We can clear in CA, then we will be clear. If we will commit that we are not, if we will not be committed, we are just trying to do it, then obviously it will not be done. CA is not a course in which we can in two way. We can think on two ways. We have to go into one way only. We will have to do it, then we will do it. After becoming a chartered accountant, you will be a professional. You will not like a normal layman, normal student. So to be a professional, do some hard work, beta. Give some commitment. I'm waiting for your commitments, beta. Just waiting. But please avoid Hindi. We are from South India. Purnima, I am doing one thing. I am speaking everything in English and then just repeating it in Hindi only. You need not to worry about Hindi because number of students are from Central India, that is UP, Bihar, and North India, as well as from this MP also. They are not able to understanding English at that level, whatever you are understanding. Due to that reason, it has been instructed by the ICI that you must have to repeat the concept in Hindi also, but that is just a repetition. You need not to worry. Whatever I am speaking in Hindi, that has already been covered in English or that will be covered in English at all levels. You need not to worry. We have to keep in mind that we have to help everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Please repeat seventh again. Okay, let's see seventh again once again. In seventh illustration, it was that the decision of the court relating to a contingency was there on 31st of March regarding a case. A creditor has sued us for rupees, a competitor has sued us for rupees 15 lakh, for which already we have created a provision of 10 lakh. So the case was already running. So the situation was already appearing on 31st of March. This case has been closed by us on 18th of March before the date of closing of our books of accounts, before the date of finalization of our books of accounts, that is on 30th of May. So due to that reason, we may have to provide for it in our books of accounts. We will provide for rupees 14 lakh in our books of accounts. If this event has been occurred, this decision has come after 30th of May, we are unable to provide for in our books of accounts because at that time books was not available, because books are finalized, balance sheet is submitted on 30th of May. So it will be provided for in the books of accounts. That's it. Sir, if two conditions are given as in illustration number 6, how to do it? Because beta, bankrupt condition is not a condition, that is a routine. Condition is the earthquake only. So one condition is there. So that is to be followed only. Bankrupt is not a problem. If a person is declared bankrupt, we will have to provide for its loss. There's no problem because debtor was existing, provision was there. So we will have to write it off. Okay then. Thank you very much. Number of students have asked that they are interested to have this quick revision reference. I would like to show you where it is, from where you can download it beta. See with me. Go to ICA website. Okay. You have to go to ICA website. To download quick reference material, you will have to go to ICI website. In that, you have to go to BOS student section, then BOS knowledge portal. In that, you have to go click here to visit BOS knowledge portal. In that, there is a study material. In that, intermediate is there. In that, advanced accounting is there. Here, study material is given to you. Yeah. In this application of accounting standard, okay. Okay, just a moment. थोड़ा सा चेंज करूंगा मैं इसमें. Just a moment. Okay, study material से पहले जाना पड़ेगा. We have to go. So it doesn't matter. I will upload. I will send it to IC. They will upload it. I'm not trying to find it here. Don't worry. Okay then. Thank you very much. So could we close the session, Ramji?